aye, we're here. Hello, nice to see you. You know the rest in peace, Bruce Forsyth. Nice to have you all along here. We're going to do a little live preview today in aid of the game tomorrow, Celtic against Dundee at Celtic Park. I'll be joined by Ryan McGinley. If you've seen the Twitter advertisement for this show, you might have seen it advertised, McGinley to be here with me. He's currently not here with me. As always, fashionably late, McGinley. And I'm sure he'll be with us in a few moments' time. I'm looking forward to him arriving. But aye, we're here. I'm here in some form of state. Usually the running joke in the podcast is that at least one of us turn up hungover. At least one of us is rough for the podcast. Well, today it's me. I just seen a question there. How was the concert, says Lewis. Well, it was good. It's a good night. Anybody who I met last night, it was an absolute pleasure. Everybody I spoke to was brand new. A lot of folk tell me they were fans of the channel, etc. I really do appreciate that. But it was a good night, and I'm paying the price right now. McGinley will be the fresh face when he joins here. And me, I'm going to be the one that kind of holds us back. I'm slow today. I'm not on the ball. I'm not going to be honest with you, so I'm really needing McGinley to come in and support me, but we'll get on to that as Celtic look to bounce back. I'll bounce back just like Celtic will tomorrow against Dundee. I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in the chat, a lot of things about yeah, we'll leave that one, Max. We'll leave that. If you're on Twitter, you know what that'll be about. But we'll leave that one for now. We might have an opinion from McGinley. And no, Adam, it's not me. I know I'm from there, but it's not me. Yeah, big game for Celtic tomorrow. Let's start talking about the football. A massive game. And in terms of, you know, it's a game we should be winning. I don't like this whole thing that could be thrown about saying that this is going to be a massive test or whatnot. It's Dundee, it's Celtic Park. You don't win these games, you don't deserve fucking league titles. That's as simple as that. These are the games that we should be winning. But it is massive we bounce back. There's a huge aspect of that will be talked about from the media, from fans, and overall it'll be probably the overwhelming conversation or discussion heading into this game. How do Celtic bounce back from that win on, that loss on Thursday? And that's ultimately understandable. We weren't good enough on Thursday, and I think that a lot of the negatives from that game will definitely carry over onto this game. We'll see that fans will go in a little bit more pessimistic, I think fans will be talking about all the issues rather than the positives, and that's so easy. That's so easy for knee-jerk reactions, and I know I'm guilty of that as well. It's my duty to come onto this channel and talk about the games directly after they've happened. I came on, I would say I was pretty downbeat. I was pretty negative about the game on Thursday, but ultimately, we've had a really good season. We've had a really strong campaign to this point, and we've proven at Celtic Park domestically, we've improved. We're much, much better. The European thing is so difficult to kind of shake because I don't know what it is. It transcends over generations, over managers, over different teams. It's happened for 18 years now. We just can't win those games. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mentality of us. I don't know if it's I can't put my finger on it. It just seems like we can't do anything in these Europa League games, Conference League games, or any European games, to be quite honest. It just seems like there is a real issue there, but we have a massive chance to brush that off tomorrow and continue being top of the league. Now, the one thing that is going to be annoying is the fact that, Rangers play early, we play late. If they get a result, we then need to go and follow that up, and we've seen, that game against Dundee United. Will we see any of that come into this? Not just because we're playing a team from Dundee. The whole point of, that day, Celtic got a massive result in their favour to go top of the league, and we really did feel that sort of pressure, I thought, as we played Dundee United. It came to the 90th minute. It came to Abada's goal, and that's what we had to get. We had to push and play hard, and it wasn't easy at all, and that was the sort of it was the sort of thing we had to deal with, and I feel like there could be an aspect of that tomorrow if Rangers get a result early on, but we'll see. As I see Ryan McGinley down there waiting to be brought into the live stream, I'm going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan McGinley. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Sorry I'm late. I was drying my hair.
You say sorry I'm late as if I'm like your teacher or something, fuck's sake.
I feel like you're the superior Ryan here, so...
The superior Ryan? Well, that's a bold claim. I'm not feeling superior at the moment, McGinley. As I was just telling the chat there, you're definitely going to have to be carrying me throughout this show. I am slow, mate. I'm off the ball.
Happy to carry.
Before we start talking about the game, and I get your thoughts on Thursday and how we bring that into tomorrow's game and how we improve on Thursday, you were getting a lot of bold comments recently on Twitter, weren't you? Aye?
I know. I've got more hair than you, mate. So
I know, I don't get that. Look at that. Look at that. It's spinning. It's gone.
It's because I've got a big forehead, and the fact is, these bits at the side, they've always been like this at the side. It's not
Right.
as if I'm even losing hair, it's just the
Okay.
fact that I'm growing more. The more I
It's
grow,
a
the more it looks like I'm balding, but I'm not. I've got
it's a
good
bonny
genes.
head affair. It's a bonny head affair, son. Don't you
Appreciate
worry
it, mate.
about it. Brush off the haters. Talking
That,
about brushing off, we need to brush off that defeat on Thursday tomorrow, Ryan. I mean, I've not had the chance to speak to you on a podcast or on this channel or anything like that about Thursday. Are you hoping it's a bump in the road? As Ange said, it is only half time in that tie, but it's not
yeah.
something I think that should be overly concerning in regards to the game tomorrow.
No, I mean, it is a chance to bounce back. I seen Fitzy was getting a bit of stick for saying it's a test, but I can see where he's coming from with regards to that, because we've had a bit of a sloppy result in Europe. We need to sort of turn it around when we get back to league form. I'm just hoping that we can go out and do that. Obviously Dundee themselves have got a new manager, and obviously he won't be at the touchline. He's banned for. Remember his
That's
bonkers
hilarious.
video 2 years ago.
That's hilarious. So, quite genuinely, we'll come on to talking about the opposition. We're playing a side tomorrow who have hired a manager who can't be on the touchline for, 5 or 6 games or something?
I know, and Morton have got an excuse because the charge was obviously given after Dougie Imrie was in charge of Morton. But this guy's had this on his record. So
Yep.
It's a bit of an odd one, especially after, I think Dundee won the last 2 games under McPake. It's a bit of odd timing, but I'm just hoping it goes as well as we played them the last couple of times, because we've scudded them a couple of times the last 2 times we've played them, so I'm hoping that'll be the case tomorrow.
Yeah, we look back on previous performances against Dundee, of course, the big 6 there at the start of the season, a really strong performance at Dens as well. It's a game, and as I said, you brought up that point, people saying it could be a test. It shouldn't really be a test. I can understand.
I think it's a mental test more than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that these are the games that, with the way I put it at the start of the season, you can't win these games. You're not ready to win a league title. These are games that you should be winning, and I've always said that, sometimes we can always go into games feeling a little bit greedy, a little bit naive, just like we did on Thursday. However, there is literally very little excuses to saying that Dundee could beat us. It said, it shouldn't be happening. It's just a matter of fact. They are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst teams in the league, and they've just came off the back of sacking a manager. All the signs do point towards Celtic victory, and it's one of those things. If we were to turn around and lose one of these games, it's our own.
You ain't going to win
really.
any leagues if you don't win at home against Dundee. That's all I'm going to say about it, really.
Aye, exactly. That's it. So, Ryan, tomorrow, do you think it's a chance for a statement performance? Do you think we need that to try and lift the heads of some supporters? I mean, as I was touching on, I think it was very easy for us to get a little bit downbeat after that loss on Thursday, especially when so many people were anticipating a win. But I think this is a big chance for us to kind of go out, right those wrongs. It is only half time in that leg, and this is a completely different competition, but it's a good chance to go out and just lift the heads of some supporters who are down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I was really, honestly, quite shell-shocked at what happened on Thursday.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe I was a wee bit too confident going into the game or expecting Bodo Glimt to not be as good as what they were, but after about 10-20 minutes, I was just sitting there like, what is going on here? This team are well drilled. And I did tweet about it. I said that they look like a team that have been analysing us for months, because they just knew how to stifle us completely. The defenders weren't getting any joy in terms of passing it out from the back. McGregor had probably his quietest game in months. All of the good stuff that we done was just, everything was completely stifled. So tomorrow is a big chance for us to sort of go out and make a sort of statement. We've not properly cuffed a team at home ever. I mean, 3-0 against Rangers was a really, really big result when you look at the two sides, but we've not really beat a team 4-0, 5-0 in a wee while, especially at home. So that's what I want to see tomorrow. I want to see the goals flying. I want to see us feeling good about ourselves, and I want to see certain players get back in the goal on the goal trail.
Yeah, I think that you look at Dundee and you look at a side that is possible to score, but I think with those kind of 5-0 games and such disappearing, it is very natural for that to happen. I think ultimately teams have been tougher to beat as well. I think teams are really coming to Celtic Park and trying to make life more difficult for us, and that's a task in itself, but it's one for another day. Let's look at the opposition then, as we're here to do the preview for that. Thank you for the donations, by the way, Plexiplox and Josh as well. We'll come on to a questions segment at the end of the stream. Thank you to everybody who's here just now, so keep your questions coming and we'll get on to them eventually. Dundee's form, it hasn't been great as of late. They did win their last game in the league, I believe. Weird timing for the sacking of James McPake, isn't it? It's pretty
I think
weird.
they won their last 2 games or something, and they sacked him.
they've won their last 2 in all competitions, but in general their form has been pretty dismal as of late. 3 losses in their last 6, only 1 win as well in there. Obviously a side, as we said, who are going to be in a bit of disarray with this transition of new manager. Does that give you any sort of worries? Does that make you sort of feel like, there'll be a chance of a kick up the arse, that new manager effect, Ryan? Is that maybe just a bit too much?
If it was any other manager, like for example, if they brought in Jim Goodwin, I was like, oh, maybe they'll get a kick out of it. But they brought in Mark McGee. I mean,
yep.
he's had a happy history in terms of coming back as a manager to Celtic Park. The 9-0 game sticks out like a sore thumb. Even that day, I don't even think Celtic played that well that day. We just somehow managed to score 9 goals. Remember Thomas Ronye get sent off, so we did a lot of it with 10 men. It was an absolute crazy scoreline. But as much as I want to stay cautious, and I know I've been humbled a wee bit due to Bodo Glimt, I mean, these are the games that we should be winning at the end of the day. I'm still confident we can go out and get a good result against Dundee, get a couple of goals and feel a wee bit better about ourselves going into the second leg.
Niall McGinley came in. He's Dundee's newest star. I think he scored in his debut as well. A player that's been about this league for quite a while, leaving Aberdeen recently, of course. But apart from that, you look at the Dundee side and there's not a lot of people that I look at there that can cause us too much of an issue. I mean, Charlie Adam, we're going to be hearing the chants tomorrow.
Yes. I don't know if there'll be an inquest after it. Charlie Adam seems to get that chant mixed up with certain other problems that are far bigger in the world. Yep. So it's a bit of a weird one. I want to see the best here in football v the worst here in football, and Paul McGowan v Rio Hatate.
Oh wait, hold on. Rio Hatate's hair's better than Jota's?
Oh, it is a majestic barnet.
Really?
It just bounces. And honestly, it bounces like Nakamura's. Nakamura's bounced as well. There's just something in that hair. It just bounces. I absolutely love it.
I can't believe that you have just said it's better than Jota's hair.
I would go back and look at Rio Hatate's first season playing in Japan. Look at him with short hair and then look at him with long hair. It's his power.
Is it? Oh, well. I'll have to go and do a wee bit of research into the hair of Rio Hatate, to be quite honest. Let's get to our team predictions for Celtic. I think tomorrow there's got to be changes, hasn't there, Ryan? Was Thursday a wake-up call about how our midfield should be set up?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think Rogic and O'Reilly can play in the same team, although you can probably.
Do you know what's going to be weird?
Tomorrow.
Do you know what's going to be weird though? Remember, right back at the start of the season, and we were all saying Rogic and Turnbull couldn't play in the same midfield, but then slowly and surely things started to click. Now, I agree. I thought on Thursday it was you seen it and it just didn't work. But do you think there is maybe an aspect of, once again, knee-jerk reactions, poor game? And do you think this could develop like the way Turnbull and Rogic did? I think that we still need a player in there who isn't I think that just a midfield needs. We were opened up, we were carved open, there was too many gaps. We need someone like a Hatate in there. We need somebody like even a Beaton in there. I think somebody different. They're too similar.
After about 10 minutes, I was calling for Beaton. I was like, I do not like the way this is going whatsoever. Rogic was effectively just a spectator watching that game the other night. I thought O'Reilly was a lot better than him, but even then he wasn't that great. But that was just down to the whole team's performance. It was just a really deflating night all in. I don't know about you, but around me I just felt completely deflated. I was really, really buzzing going into the game, and then after 10, 20 minutes I was like, I kind of want this over with now. We weren't playing well at all. And you kind of know what team's going to come within 10, 15 minutes of us playing. And it was really disappointing. But I would like to. I mean, if you're going to continue the experiment, I'd play them both tomorrow. But I mean, at the same time, I would quite like Hatate to be playing tomorrow. I mean, if you look back, Hatate shouldn't have played the 90 minutes against Rafe Rovers. I think that was a misstep. Because then he would have been completely fit.
He looked dead in his feet come the end of the game, didn't he, against Rafe? He just looked a wee bit, shaking.
Got to remember, we've got to watch his game time, because he's played basically every game for us since he's came into the team. I don't know if they're trying to do the same thing that they've done with David Turnbull. They were like, you're going to get used to playing 90 minutes week in, week out. But he needs to get watched, or he'll burn out completely, as Turnbull did for a couple of games. I remember October, November time. You really did see his performances drop. But as long as he's getting used to the setup, then I'm sure he'll be fine going into the second half of the season.
Right, team then, let's go through it. Joe Hart in goals, of course. I think that's perfectly not natural to expect. The back four, do you think it will remain unchanged from the strongest? I think it will, personally. I think it'll be Juranovic, Vickers, Starfelt and Taylor, despite Taylor having a very questionable game on Thursday.
Yeah, the thing I'd say about Taylor, Taylor gets picked first pick over Scales, and if Taylor's putting in performances like that, then I don't even know if Andrew rates Scales as highly as he does Taylor, which is a wee bit of a
See, that's
worry.
the thing. We know Ange is a fan. He spoke very highly of Taylor, you know. And I would love to see Scales come into the team tomorrow, but I just think it will be Taylor. If I'm being honest, I just think it'll be. I think it'll be Ivanovic and Taylor. Midfield.
The team's got a better balance when Taylor's on the team.
Yeah. Let's go for the middle three. McGregor, of course, nail on. You've got to expect that. Do you think the experiment will continue then? I feel like there will be a change. I think that.
Yeah, me too.
I think that it'll be Hatate, but who joins him? Who would you pick?
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly?
I'd play O'Reilly in every game now over
Aye.
Rogic. I've seen enough to know that I prefer O'Reilly to Rogic. I think O'Reilly's like Rogic, but he's got an engine.
Got an engine? What? Who makes it?
Don't know. Lotus.
Lotus. A nice Lotus engine inside Matt O'Reilly. Nice. I was hoping you were maybe going to say, I don't know, like a nice Ferrari engine or a Mercedes or something. And you went with.
I'll need to check out this Formula One malarkey, man.
Not even. It's just out of everything you could have picked fucking Lotus. I'd never expect. Is there any Australian cars? I can't think of any Australians. Surely there's one.
Is that Daniel Ricciardo? Is he Australian?
Well, he's a driver, yeah. I suppose. What's he drive? He drives a McLaren. Can't remember who makes it engines. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're getting out of track here. And the front three.
I like that, out of track.
I know. It's nice that, isn't it? Front three. Is it going to be the strongest three available? Which is actually, do you know what? Let's be honest. We don't really have an idea what is the strongest three. You made your point yesterday on Twitter that you want Maida to start again tomorrow. Yeah. I personally want Yakimakis to start tomorrow. So we've actually got a split of opinion in this one. So it's weird. Any reason you want Maida to start again tomorrow? Listen, before I go any further, just to make things perfectly clear, I'm not one of these people who I think Maida's finished already. You know, there has been plenty of folk. I know there's folk. The man scored on Thursday. Fuck me, but like. 4 goals in 7 games. Unbelievable. And folk are writing them off. Anyway, I'm not one of them. I just prefer Yakimakis for just a tiny bit at this moment in time. But I'm not one of those people. But why do you want Maida to start again tomorrow?
To start pad against Dundee. To further my agenda.
Is that it? Is that the reason?
I mean, I think he'd be a good fit as well. Because I'm not even going to say on the counter-attack. We shouldn't be on the counter-attack against Dundee. But it's just that pace that he brings to the game. I mean, even though he didn't have the greatest game on Thursday, he still contributed. And I mean, Yakimakis, I want him to succeed. I really do. And I think he will succeed at Celtic. But my God, the guy loves being offside, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
Every second run, he's offside. I would like to... I mean, to be fair, I don't really mind because Maida could come on for half an hour and cause some damage as well. But I would like to see him getting stuck in. And I think Ange will stick with Maida because that he's an Ange player. He knows him well and he knows the qualities that he can bring to the team.
Gareth McDonald's donated £5. In honest opinions wanted in this week tune. Well, a frontman's Kyogo, born of the rising sun, endeared himself to Parkhead and he's scoring goals. So 1 out of 2. There's 2 there. Gareth, I'll give you an opinion when we get to the final.
You're going to get a 10 off of this?
I don't know, but thank you very much, Gareth. It's appreciated. Keep the songwriting going. So you're going with Maida, I'm going with Yakimakis. I want Big GG up front. I do like him. I'm just, you've got your Maida fan club starting over there. I'm kind of...
It's the Maida
I'm Joe Hart, but I mean, Yakimakis will do as well. I've got to keep representing my Greek players, I love my Greek players.
You keep on racial me on Twitter with it too, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just too easy, mate. It's just too easy. But it's all fun and games. So finally, score predictions then. What are you thinking tomorrow, Ryan?
5-0.
Oh, you're going for the 5. You're going for the 5. I'm going to go for 3-0 Celtic. I don't know if you'd actually go for the 5, but you've done it. You're confident of a scalping tomorrow?
Yeah, like Dundee are pretty bad, so I'm confident we can get our mojo back against this mob. Yeah,
I think so. It's a massive importance. Right, let's get a couple of questions answered before we go. We have been live for about 20 minutes, so I'll try and make it as quickly as possible. I think Elimination Chamber's going to be on the cards tonight with a takeaway of some options. Yep, excited. I mean, I'm hoping it's tonight. Very excited about that. I was hoping it was going to be the Rumble, but here we are. He'll have to return in Saudi Arabia. Let's see. Thank you, Gareth. Here we go. There's his second part there. That's £10. Thanks very much, Gareth. But I like it. I rate it, sir. Get it going. Get it on Twitter and tag all the relevant authorities, and we'll try and get the chant going. Thank you, Gareth. I really do appreciate it. Andres Iniesta, mind that he talked him up. And we're seeing it. Right, any questions? Get them sent in. I don't really see any, to be honest. There's none. There's a lot of arguing in the chat about results, and it's very nice to see that people have just on a quick point, because we've not done a podcast this week. We usually go in the podcast and complain about these things, but it's nice to see that 2012 isn't considered modern anymore, Ryan. Sadly the stars of 2012, Carly Rae Jepsen,
the chart topper Titanium by Sia is now considered a relic.
Yes, that's up there.
I'm not used to that, mate. I was 15 in 2012, so I don't need this.
I was 12, so I was in P7, leaving P7, going into first year in 2012.
The years have not been kind to us, mate.
Aye, fuck off.
I'm talking about this. Don't want to just put yourself down.
Well, fucking hell. But it's nice to see that 2012 doesn't exist anymore, you know. But obviously beating Barcelona when they weren't that good, apparently, doesn't really matter. But it's just impossible to enjoy results, isn't it? You know, if I just watched my team go out to Germany and spank Dortmund 4-2, I'd be fucking levered. I'd be split out my tits.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. When we beat Lazio on their own turf, I wasn't talking about Rangers, to be honest.
I know. Weird, proper weird stuff. It really is. Let's see. When do I think Kyogo will be back? Good question, Brad. Well, we don't really know, do we? Have we heard anything? And he's not gave a date for this one, has he?
Well, he said he's 2 or 3 weeks behind Turnbull, and Turnbull's now out for a couple of weeks. So I think it's like March, April time before Kyogo will be back.
Weird, isn't it? Because he was on track for having probably one of the best seasons in recent history for a Celtic forward, and I mean, we've been very lucky with our forwards.
St Johnson, it was not worth risking him.
Nah, he's now out, and we've paid the consequence of it. But hopefully he's back at some point. That would be very.
And that's one thing I could say about Ange. That one criticism. Sometimes I don't like his game management at all. Sometimes he makes really questionable decisions that cost us in the long run. But I absolutely love the man. I mean, he can do no wrong, but sometimes he does a wee bit wrong, and it annoys me.
Aidan, I don't like this question. I don't know.
Yes, I want us to win every game.
I know. I don't like this loser attitude that some people possess about, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Ange made it clear that it matters. He made it clear he wants to go as far as he can in the competition, and I think that's how every fan should look at it. I don't like being a loser. You know, people who want to lose aren't used to winning, and I don't like that. You know, that was a nice Kevin Owens quote there. I loved that promo a few years ago, but I just don't like. Why would we not want to go through? I know this whole focus on the league part, and I get that, but you can, mate. We can do that. We're good enough. I've
seen a great analogy, and I think it was down to Roger Mitchell's tweet. Remember, he said he was going back to watch Ange Ball for the first time, and he said, "Are you still there?" Sorry,
I'm still here. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, what's the point if it's like a losers' cup?" I was like, and somebody made a great response, and they said, "We get knocked out of the Champions League by Basel in the year that we went to Seville in the first round." Yep. So does that mean that the UEFA Cup was a losers' cup until we got to the final? Because I'd imagine a lot of Celtic fans would have wanted to win the UEFA Cup when we went to Seville. Like me, like probably me and you. We want to go on a European run. I've not seen us go on a European run. Not
in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. I mean, obviously Seville was in my lifetime. I don't count it really because
I don't really remember it that well. I was very young.
I was 4-year-old. I was fucking barely talking, fuck's sake. I don't remember it, and I want something like that. And narratives get changed so quickly. I hate that because people give, and it's the same with opposition fans as well. The narrative will change in a few years' time when Rangers are playing in this competition, because it's inevitably going to happen. Rangers will be playing in that competition, and I bet you if they went to run in it, they wouldn't be calling it this Diddy competition. They'd be loving it. Narratives get spun to suit whatever situation you're in all the time, and I think you should just take one and pick it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But see, when we get to the final, what's the point in saying you cared about winning that day if you didn't care about back in the early rounds?
Cup final when Rangers went to Manchester, a Diddy Cup.
Yep, and of course, cup finals aren't for everyone, as JJ's pointed out here. Which is very, very, very true. Just targeted towards one club whom I would never criticise.
Never,
just never criticise. what do you think went wrong on Thursday? They were a good side, weren't they? They were a good side. I think they deserve the
They were
credit.
well managed.
And people, I seen a comment earlier in this stream, Ryan, and someone said, hold on, were you not sitting given that this should be a team that was easy to beat? I don't remember saying that at all, actually. I think on the podcast we explicitly said this will be, we did predict Celtic wins, as you do, but I think we explicitly said this will be a tough game. This team is not a mug, neither is any team left in this competition. But obviously, once again, narratives like to get spun because it's now a pub team just because they've beat us.
Yeah, absolutely. Things just get spun to suit people's narratives and that. I think Bodo Glimt would have given that Borussia Dortmund team a game the other night.
And I'm never going to take, this is the thing, I want to make one thing perfectly clear as well, because I could do it both ways. I'll give credit to Rangers where they deserve it. They deserve credit for what they've done on Thursday night.
It was a good result.
Tremendous result. Really good result. They deserve the credit for that. However, there's people who can't take that win and then, you know, we shouldn't be getting beat at Celtic Park off Bodo Glimt. That's a reality of it. We should be winning. However, to create this narrative that they're a pub team, that really does annoy me because it's a good side. It's obviously a good side. They've made it this far in the competition. They took tasks to Roma twice. They are the champions of their respective country. You know, this was never going to be easy.
Yep. It was never going to be easy. Sorry, I was in a bit of a daydream reading the comments.
Don't worry, mate.
Through there as well.
Don't worry.
But they were a good team. They were better than what I expected them to be, especially in their preparations because they were still in pre-season. I wish we could play like that in pre-season games, especially in the Champions League qualifiers. But they looked very, very well managed. That guy's going to get that. Is it Knutson? He's going to get quite a few teams looking at him because his teams play some lovely football. That left back in particular, I noticed a lot of people were talking about him. I didn't really notice him in the first half, but I noticed him in the second half. I was like, is this guy a competition winner? Literally. He was giving away the ball 3 or 4 times and putting it out. He must have had a really good first half, but I must have been so, I don't know what the word would be, not enamoured by the poor Celtic performance, but sort of like watching our performance rather than theirs. It's just one of those games. We've just got to forget about it. Tomorrow's the most important game now until next week. Got to get that sorted and then we'll worry about the second leg when it comes.
Yeah, and I'll do this. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. Talking about tomorrow. Well done, McGinley. You've done my job for me. As I said, you'd have to carry me today. I'm now going to go and lie in bed and weep from this hangover. And hopefully Cody surprises me at the Elimination Chamber. Ryan, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good night.
Mate.
You got any plans for this evening? Any drinks or such?
Probably McDonald's later. See if my pals are going out for a drink. If not, no, I'm going to watch the Man City Tottenham game. That should be interesting. So I'll watch that and then maybe watch a movie later on. Quite Saturdays for you, man.
That's quite a nice wee night. That sounds nice.
All right, mate.
I like that.
Don't need alcohol to have fun. Hold on, I want
You do. My life is just fixated on it. Right, okay. Thanks, everybody. Give us a Gunter Steiner impression before you go. We can do better. We will do better. Just so, mate, honestly, you should hear this guy's voice. You don't smash my door. Huh? Fucking brilliant. Fucking love him. He looked like rock stars. Now we look like a bunch of wanker. That was us on Thursday. Right, okay. Let's wrap up there. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you all.